For decades, African Americans fought for the right to participate in collegiate and professional athletics. The battle of equality for African Americans in sports was anything but easy and tested the character of many who bravely pioneered the way. This fight was not in vain. As years passed, African American dominance in sports rose dramatically. The stories of incredible African Americans, their struggles and triumphs, shape a very important part of American history. Their legacies live on to this day. In the 1968 Summer Olympics, U.S. sprinters Tommie Smith and John Carlos placed first and third in the 200-meter dash. During the medal ceremony, all the athletes wore Olympic Project for Human Rights stickers, which protested racial segregation in all countries. Both Smith and Carlos were a part of this organization. Both Smith and Carlos wore black on the podium to represent black poverty. Their fists were raised in salute to black pride and unity. This picture was published in newspapers and stirred up much controversy. In the time that followed, the International Committee President, Avery Brundage, a Nazi sympathizer who allowed Nazi salutes during the 1936 Games, banned Smith and Carlos from the Olympic Games. Smith and Carlos's actions eventually helped remove Brundage as the IOC president, achieving one of the OPHR's main goals, and paved the way to equality for all athletes around the world. The NFL is home to some of the world's top athletes, and throughout history has been the stage for many amazing athletic performances. Walter Payton was a running back for the Chicago Bears from 1975 to 1987. Known as Sweetness around the league, he's remembered as one of the most prolific running backs in NFL history. Payton began his football career at Jackson State University, where he was an All-American, before starting his professional career with the Chicago Bears in 1975. Payton was a 9-time Pro Bowl selection, a Super Bowl champion, and once held the record for most career rushing yards, touchdowns, carries, and had many records in many other categories. In February of 1999, Payton announced that he had a rare liver disease, and Payton spent his final months as an advocate for organ transplants. Even in his NFL days, Payton was heavily involved in charity work and giving back to his community. Payton represented many people across the ethnic and political spectrum in his volunteer work. The NFL adopted 2 awards in honor of Walter Payton. The Walter Payton Award is awarded to the most outstanding offensive player for the D1 AA college football. The Walter Payton Man of the Year Award honors an NFL player's volunteer and charity work as well as his excellence out on the field. Walter Payton set a new standard for professional football players' involvement off the field within the community.
The early 1960s were considered a modern Camelot, with a vigorous president energizing the country and a beautiful wife standing by his side. Jackie Joyner did become the first lady of something, track and field. She came to dominate the heptathlon, a demanding 7-event competition that measured speed, strength, and stamina. She was the first to register more than 7,000 points in the event, which consists of the 100-meter hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 meters, long jump, and javelin. After gaining an Olympic silver medal in 1984, when she was edged by less than a second for first, she captured gold at the both 1988 and 1992 Games. She's the greatest multi-event athlete ever, man or woman, said Bruce Jenner, an expert on multi-events as the 1976 Olympic decathlon champion. After graduating in the top 10% of her class of 350, she went to UCLA to play basketball, to complete track. By 1988, the 5'10", 150-pound Joyner Kersee was the first overwhelming gold medal favorite. She had won the 9 consecutive heptathlons since that 1984 Olympic defeat. In 1987, at the World Championships in Rome, after winning the first of the 2 heptathlon and long jump world titles, she was pictured on the cover of Sports Illustrated with the title Superwoman. At the 1996 Games in Atlanta, a teary-eyed Joyner Kersee withdrew from the heptathlon because of a troublesome right hamstring after running the hurdles. Still hurting, she competed in the long jump and on her final leap went 22 feet, good for a bronze medal by 1 1/4 inches. It was definitely a medal of courage, she said. She retired from track in the summer of 1998, but Joyner Kersee looking forward. It's better to look ahead and prepare, she said. than to look back and get regret. Michael Jordan is a Hall of Fame shooting guard who played in the NBA from 1984 to 2003 for the Chicago Bulls and the Washington Wizards, and is currently the primary owner of the Charlotte Bobcats. Winner of 5 regular season MVP awards, he is widely considered the best basketball player who ever played in the NBA. Jordan led the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA titles and was voted in the Finals MVP a record 6 times. Michael Jordan scored more points per game than any player in NBA history, with a 30.1 average, and his 32,292 career points scored rank as the 3rd most in NBA history. His career postseason scoring average of 33.5 points is also the best in the NBA. Michael Jordan was a 14-time All-Star, averaging 20.2 points per All-Star game, and became the only player to ever record a triple-double in an All-Star game when he achieved the feat in 1997. He was named Defensive Player of the Year in 1988 and was an All-Defensive First Team 9 times. Michael Jordan also held the record for consecutive games scoring in double digits, 866. In 1996, Jordan was named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. During his sophomore year at Laney, a 5'9" Michael Jordan tried out for the basketball team. He was passed over for the final spot on the varsity team when Coach Clifton Herring decided he preferred the 6'8" sophomore Leroy Smith over Jordan. Jordan made a name for himself on the national scene with a stellar performance in the McDonald's All-American game. He hit the winning free throws to give the East team a 96-95 win, scoring 30 points in the process. Michael Jordan's play in high school drew the attention of University of North Carolina assistants Roy Williams and Bill Guthridge. Jordan started as a freshman, which was rare feat in itself on a Smith coach team. He was instrumental in the Tar Heels' run to the 1982 national championship. The Tar Heels would take home the national championship with a 63-62 win. Michael Jordan was a member of 2 gold medal winning USA basketball teams. He participated in the 1984 Olympics Games in Los Angeles, California, and the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, Spain. Michael Jordan was drafted 3rd overall by the Chicago Bulls in 1984. Jordan led the Bulls in scoring his rookie year of 1884 to 1885 with 28.2 points per game. Olympian Florence Joyner, known widely as FloJo, was born Florence Dolores Griffith on December 21, 1959 in Los Angeles, California, and went on to become one of the fastest competitive runners in the 1980s. After attending California State University at Northridge, Joyner transferred to University of California, Los Angeles, where she quickly earned a reputation as a track star. She became an NCAA champion in 1982 with a victory in the 200-meter event. The following year, she took the top spot in the 400-meter. Coached by Bob Kersey, Joyner made her Olympic debut in 1984 at the Olympic Summer Games in Los Angeles. There, she won a silver medal for the 200-meter run and became known for her world record speed, form-fitting bodysuits, and 6-inch fingernails. Joyner's hard work paid off at the 1988 Summer Olympics, held in Seoul, South Korea. She took home 3 gold medals in the 4x100-meter relay and the 100 and the 200-meter runs, as well as a silver medal in the 4x400-meter relay. After the 1988 Olympics, Joyner retired from competition. 8 years after he played his last football game and 4 years since his last baseball game, Bo Jackson is still considered by many to be the man among multi-sport athletes. He never played for a world champion, but the 6'1", 225-pound was the first athlete named to play in an all-star game of 2 major sports. Not bad for a guy who won a Heisman Trophy and became the 1998 College Football Hall of Fame inductee in sport he described as a hobby. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers made Jackson the first selection of the 1986 NFL Draft, but Jackson rejected their 5-year, multi-million-dollar contract. "My first love is baseball," he said, "and it always has been my dream of mine to be a Major League Baseball player." So Jackson, who was a junior center fielder at Auburn, hit 17 home runs with 43 RBIs in 42 games. As a part-time running back making full-time money with the Los Angeles Raiders, he ran for 2,782 yards on 515 carries, an impressive 5.4-yard average, and scored 18 touchdowns running and receiving in that 1987 to 1990 period. He is the only player in NFL history to have 2 rushing touchdowns of 90 yards or more, with a 91-yarder coming when he rambled for a Raiders record 221 yards against Seattle a month into his pro football career. His last play as a Raider began.
Emmitt Smith. In 1990, Smith left University of Florida during his junior year playing for his dream team, the NFL Dallas Cowboys. Over his 12th season with the Cowboys, he excelled as a running back and became a critical part of the offense. Smith helped the team take 3 Super Bowl championship victories in 1993, 1994, and 1996. He was singled out for his performance on the field at Super Bowl and won the MVP honor in 1994. He also played in several Pro Bowl games. Dominique Dawes was also called Awesome Dawson. She vaulted her way into the record books with a lot of wins and awards and titles. Dominique began her adult non-junior gymnastic career in 1990, and 2 years later she qualified for a spot on the 1992 Olympic team. She performed very well and helped lead the American team to an overall bronze medal. 2 years later, she became the first gymnast since 1969 to make a cleanup sweep on everything gold at the U.S. National Gymnastics Championship. In 1991, Dwight Golden signed a contract with the New York Mets for 3 years and for $15.4 million to become baseball's second highest paid player. With another injury in 1991, Golden's career declined fast. People say it was because of drug abuse. Golden's pitching troubles came, and analysts pointed out his early workload. Golden was also accused for raping a girl with his teammates in 1991, but there were no charges. The other 2 players were Vince Coleman and Darryl Boston. In 1992, Golden had his first ever losing season with 10-13.